Hey fans, it's me Aaron for a comic show, and I'm excited. It's the week Marvel Legacy #1 comes out, this one shot. It's huge. I read it, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It has the spoiler that you might have seen online, but then there's another spoiler at the end that is even cooler to me. But for us here, we will have Jason Aaron here Wednesday, which is tomorrow for me on this video, to sign these books. He'll be signing them for free. He'll be signing anything else he's done, which is, I don't know, a good percentage of things in the store since he's done Thor, Wolverine, X-Men, creator-owned stuff like Scalped and Southern Bastards, and a little book called Star Wars. But he will be here from 6 to 10, signing for free, and then we'll go to Disney World and have a great time the next day. But anyway, Marvel Legacy #1, it was what I wanted it to be. It was a whole lot like the DC Universe Rebirth that Jeff Johns did, a whole lot like that. In that there's a mystery, there's a connectivity to everything, there's returning characters that have been gone. One of the characters that got spoiled online that I basically knew from the beginning because I know Jason Aaron, I know what he'd be excited in doing. Oh, this is the lenticular, by the way, which is also just the same cover price of $5.99 as the non-lenticular, because that's how Marvel does things. And we'll have this party variant with Mary Jane. We have a wraparound cover. We have Davis. We have a trading card cover. We have a Scotty Young cover. This book has everything that every character, where they're at, including Steve Rogers, which isn't a spoiler. You know Steve Rogers is out there doing something. What he's doing, you'll find out here. And I'm very excited for what is in play and what's going to happen. If I sound a little bit wishy-washy, it's because I really don't even want to spoil the thing that's been spoiled online, much less the thing at the end of the book that I was the most excited about when I read that. I was like, oh crap, I told Jason Aaron he needs to do this, and he didn't give me any feedback. I'm sure he was under a non-disclosure, but anyway, it is awesome. And you have those Avengers of, 10 million BC or whatever the heck it is, that with the Ghost Rider, the Rider on the woolly mammoth, that's cool. You have Odin with the hammer. You have Phoenix, the Phoenix Force as Phoenix. All that was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for what this means for the Marvel Universe. And there's stuff that I could say, but I just don't want to spoil it. There's a lot of cool stuff that has to do with the history of the Marvel Universe with Legacy in here throughout every page that I want to say, but I can't really say because I don't want to spoil it. I want you to turn the page and say, oh shit, oh shit, oh, that's what I want, because that's what I did. And we have this Foom #1, a Foom one-shot, a magazine like Marvel used to have called Foom. It's Friends of Old Marvel. We'll have it free during our signing, while supplies last. We have plenty. And it has articles about all kinds of stuff coming up with Legacy and interviews, those crazy covers that are the lenticular homage covers, and that's free. Also, Mighty Thor 23, this is the Venom variant. It leads right into Thor 700, and this leads into Thor 700. This stuff that I assume the things to do with Odin and those prehistoric Avengers is going to be leading into Jason Aaron's Thor. So this issue leads into 700. Then we have these 2 issues of Generation, both out this week. You have young Peter Parker with a young Miles Morales. It was fun to see them interact with each other. And it's cool that Bendis wrote them together. I enjoyed that. That was neat. This one, the Captain America's, the Americas, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson, was a great issue. I still think Thor was the best one. This is probably the second best one. It brings you all the way to current. There's milkshakes. It's awesome. I really enjoyed this, and I am excited of what's going to happen next for Sam and Steve. So make sure you get Marvel Legacy #1 wherever you're at. I know you can't all be here in Orlando. We will have that up today. When you see this video, there'll be a link to buy the cover signed from us on eBay. So we'll have those up. They're not signed yet. They'll be signed tomorrow, and I'll ship them out on Friday. It'll be awesome. So you could do that, but make sure you check that out because I think Marvel has a great plan. I was a little skeptical. I was a little wishy-washy. They had Jason Aaron. I love Jason Aaron. He's a star of theirs, their best writer in my opinion. No disrespect to Bendis, but he's my favorite. And check it out. Check it out. Like, maybe you'll be excited for what's coming in Marvel if you've been a little bit lapsed or not quite enjoying it or not reading that many of their titles. Check out Legacy. It does a similar job that DC Universe Rebirth. Speaking of DC Universe Rebirth, Oz Effect 2 is out with this ridiculous lenticular cover of Jor-El dying. We have who Oz is in this. It's crazy. There's more of this with Superman and Oz, and it's just nuts. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is exciting. Moving on to Detective, A Lonely Place of Living. This is obviously an homage to Tim Drake's Lonely Place of Dying. It picks up from things with the Titans of Tomorrow. Tim Drake is really cool in here. I really like it. And if you remember, one of the other prisoners in that Oz has was from Action Comics and is Doomsday. So if Tim gets out, if the prisoners get released, is Doomsday there? How are they going to fight off Doomsday when he's just a Robin? So there's that. That's enjoyable if you want to see what happens with Oz, what happens with the people that Oz has been, imprisoning. That's here. Moving on to Metal, we have the Murder Machine. This is a foil cover, just like Red Death was last week, and it has a free pin. Oh, here's the pin. It has a free pin with it. That this one is Cyborg and Batman focused. So you have the Cyborg Batman. It's crazy. I liked Red Death. I like this one. Frank Thierry and James Tynion co-wrote it. It's great. Check it out. Suicide Squad. It's part 3 of the Gotham Resistance. The team's been cool. That the hodgepodge team thrown together of Green Arrow, Nightwing, the Teen Titans, and now Suicide Squad. And then there's a crazy guest star at the end that we saw in Metal, but haven't seen in this yet. So I'm enjoying this story. And then finally for DC, Wonder Woman, Children of the Gods. This is that story where James Robinson's taking over, and they're talking a lot about Wonder Woman's twin brother, Jason. So I don't know why they're not calling them the Wonder Twins. It would be great if they called them Wonder Twins. That's cool. What I am actually excited about this book for is the plot points from Jeff Johns' Darkseid War. What I'm excited about is Darkseid as a baby, as a kid, and Grail. That's what I like about it. I could care less about Wonder Woman having a twin brother, or what the hell ever. I like James Robinson. I loved his Starman. I love Jeff Johns, and I love that this is picking up those plot points. That's great. And it says Darkseid's daughter returns. So that's where it is. Years later. Let's go. So that's the selling point for Wonder Woman. Mace Windu #2 is out. So if you like #1, get #2. DuckTales #1 is out. Zero was a prelude. This is still kind of a prelude to the DuckTales show, which I am in love with, the new show. The Huey, Dewey, Louie, Donald have not met up and moved into Scrooge McDuck's mansion yet. However, the cover for the next issue is ridiculous, and let's just say Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mother is on the cover of next issue, and it's really got me excited. I really, that is a plot point from the show that I want more of, and if the comic book is going to give me that, wonderful. I love it when comic books do stuff like that to enrich franchises that are on TV or movies. Saga's out, always mention when it's out. It was a pretty ridiculous issue. And then there is a ton of Image graphic novels. Last week we got Invincible 24. This week we have Walking Dead 28. So 2 weeks of mega money for Robert Kirkman and Skybound. This is out. This is great. Lots of people collect it in the trade. This is something weird. Buzzkill by Donny Cates. Love Donny Cates. He's a big fan of Jason Aaron, and he's going to be taking over Doctor Strange and Thanos. This is a story about an alcoholic superhero. Specifically, he gets his powers when he drinks. So he has to save people, so he has to drink, but then he's drunk, and he causes a lot of damage to himself and others while he saves them, and it's ridiculous. And a lot of it's told through AA meetings. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm glad it's being printed by Image now. So that's out, and has like those cool beer rings like on the cover. That's awesome. Jeff Lemire's Royal City is out, Volume 1. It's a $10 Volume 1, super thick. This is a story of a town and a family, which is Jeff Lemire's wheelhouse. He can do dysfunctional families and making cities feel real, like he did with Essex County at the very beginning of his career when he won the Eisner for that. So this is that, but with a twist of it's a ghost story. And all of these characters on the cover is the brother at different stages of his life. He's dead now, and he visits the other family members as different ages. And it's pretty nuts. So I dig that. And then finally, Sex Criminals Volume 4 is out. If you're a sick, disturbed person like me, you'll be excited about that. So if you're local, come to our store, get this book signed by Jason Aaron. We will have him sign as many as we can till his hand falls off, so we might still have signed ones Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe. We will have it on eBay signing until supplies run out, selling. We won't oversell it, but we'll have it up there for a little bit. And just pick it up. Just pick it up at your store. Pick it up, flip through it, get to the good parts, and then buy it. Because there are good parts. When you read Rebirth and you saw that the entire issue was narrated by Wally West, yeah, this is a spoiler from 2 years ago or whatnot, it's all narrated by Wally West. This is all narrated by a certain character that we haven't seen in forever that is back. And that's not the only character back. And I wish I could say the character that came back, because one of them's a man, one of them's a woman, and the male character came back in such a badass way that I loved it. So anyway, get Marvel Legacy. Jason Aaron's the man. And if you're local, come to a comic shop on Wednesday, 27th, and get a sign. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.